3 years into the mission, my system finally decided to show up again. Host run. She's not the main character. The tears started streaming down my face. You son of a bitch, I sobbed. I knew it. This was supposed to be a sweet, sappy romance novel. How the hell did I end up with a female lead who's a literal succubus? The next day, the fake female lead I'd been trying to win over for 3 years found me. Her expression was shattered, her voice a desolate whisper. After everything I do for you, am I still not enough? She asked. Just tell me who she is. At least let me lose with some dignity. I swallowed hard. You know me. I'm not really a woman person. It all started when I was accidentally dropped into a cheesy romance novel. The script I was given had pure love written all over it. The most intimate thing the main characters did in the entire story was kiss. Turns out, I was reading the bootleg version of the plot. 3 years together, and it's been a daily grind. To keep myself from literally dying of exhaustion, my diet has become a cocktail of ginseng, high-end protein powders, and every expensive supplement I can get my hands on. Why? Because my wife has an appetite that could drain a rhino. How bad is it? Let's just say I used to have reserves. Now, I'm lucky if I can manage a single drop. Sometimes it's clear, and I'm pretty sure it's just. Well, host. 3 years of marriage, and the system finally reappeared. Instantly, I broke down. 3 years. Do you have any idea what I've been through for the last 3 years? I wailed. I was on guard day and night, and look at me. I have to wear boxers with the crotch cut out just to save time. Stop complaining and run. She's not the main character. The system blared, its warning sirens screaming in my head. What? My spine went ramrod straight. I've been working on her for 3 years, and you're just now telling me I got the wrong person? What about all my suffering? All the pain? And what about the $20 million reward you promised me when I succeeded? Reward? Forget the reward. If you don't run, you're not going to have a life left to spend it with. I scrambled to pull on my pants, grabbing a duffel bag and frantically stuffing it with stacks of cash from the safe. Hurry up, host, the system urged. If this imposter finds out you know the truth, you'll never get away. You're the system. You're all-powerful. You're the biggest deal in the universe. Host, I'm still an intern, it cried, sounding like it was on the verge of tears. In the grand hierarchy of systems, I'm the absolute smallest fry. But you told me you were meticulous. I've run this simulation thousands of times. There shouldn't have been any issues. I still can't figure out what went wrong to cause a bug this big. Anyway, host, all I can do is give you this warning. You're on your own. I grabbed my pre-packed suitcase and threw on a jacket, stopping the system before it could ghost me again. Even if you hadn't shown up, I was planning my escape in the next few days anyway, I said, my voice shaking. You have no idea how twisted she is. Not even a workhorse gets ridden this hard. As unreliable as this damn system was, its news was the best I'd heard in years. I'd always wondered why the female lead in this supposedly sweet novel was so easy to seduce. The very same day we made it official, she practically devoured me in the back row of a movie theater. I should have known then what kind of hell I was signing up for. But I was blinded by Isabella's beauty, and I walked right on her pirate ship. Only after we were married did I realize the truth. I thought I had ulterior motives. Hers were 1,000,000 times worse. It started my freshman year of college. I dropped out of the sky and into the body of some kid named Ethan Hayes. My mission was simple: date the novel's main female character. Protect her, love her, cherish her, and help her become a titan of industry. Then, on the day her company went public, I was supposed to dump her and our unborn child, walk away, and return to my world to enjoy a life of luxury. Following the system's guidance, I spotted Isabella in a crowd and nearly choked on my own spit. Flawless skin, legs for days in black stockings, a chest that promised a future of heavy, fulfilling love. I knew the male lead in this book ate well, but I had no idea he was having a feast like this. Just one look was enough to make my blood boil. Even the system seemed stunned. Wow, why is the female lead so gorgeous this time? What did you say? Nothing. Nothing. Ahem. I specially saved this one for you, host. This system has no other virtue than being rigorous and reliable. I put on a show. Well, I don't know about this, I said, trying to sound reluctant. But if it's for the mission, I guess I can make the sacrifice. Inside, I was ecstatic. With a woman like that, My future kid and I would never go hungry. Mom would never have to worry about us again. At first, because I knew the script, everything went off without a hitch. The cliches wrote themselves. She was harassed by thugs, and I played the hero. It rained, and she had no umbrella, so I appeared with one, pulling her close. She fell into a lake, and I gave her mouth-to-mouth underwater, which was also my first chance to appreciate the craftsmanship up close. After that, she fell for me hard. We dove headfirst into a whirlwind romance. Everything was going so smoothly, it felt like a setup. It wasn't until 2 days ago that I realized it was. It was all her conspiracy. The roles of hunter and prey had been reversed, and now that I wanted to escape, I was trapped. 2 days ago was our anniversary. To ensure she had a good time, and to prevent myself from becoming the first man in history to die of exhaustion in the bedroom, I'd spent the last 2 weeks stocking up on performance enhancers. I even set up a psychological buff, hanging a poster of my own personal North Star of adult entertainment on the wall. When all the preparations were complete, I realized the most crucial component, a special lubricating oil, was almost empty. Without hesitating, I jumped in my car to drive to my supplier. On the way, I saw a familiar figure. Didn't she say she had a meeting with an important client today? A man's sixth sense made me slam on the brakes. I parked the car in a hidden spot and crept closer. She was sitting in a coffee shop, glancing at her watch from time to time. She was clearly waiting for someone. Soon, the crisp click-clack of high heels approached. I peeked out and saw a girl in a cream-colored dress hurrying over. She had long, flowing hair and eyes as gentle as a clear stream. She was every bit as beautiful as Isabella. More importantly, she was easily a 36E. I swallowed. It definitely wasn't because I was hungry. Isabella looked relieved to see her. Is it ready? The woman nodded. It's just a prototype for now. I don't know if it will achieve what we're hoping for, or if we'll run into the same problem as last time. If I hadn't been so quick on my feet last time, you would have found out. It won't. At worst, the user will just feel weaker, sleepier, have a shortened lifespan, and there's a hotel right next door. Should we find a test subject and try it out? Isabella hesitated for a second, then nodded. From her conversation, I learned the other woman's name was Claire. Because I was so far away, I could only catch snippets. Last time? Go to a hotel? What the hell were these two up to? Could Isabella be a lesbian? Thinking of her insatiable appetite, I shook my head firmly. Almost got caught last time. It was last time. And with who? Me. Was it that time I thought she was working late, but she came home drenched in sweat? Or the time I couldn't find a new bottle of enhancement oil, and she said the cat knocked it over? The more I thought about it, the colder I felt. What if the thing they were testing had something to do with me? What if these two women weren't even human? After all, what kind of normal romance novel character could drain me so thoroughly that not even a gallon of ginseng tea could fix it? I parked my car in a hidden spot across from the hotel. I grabbed a spare baseball cap and a mask from my trunk and slipped into the lobby. As I reached the elevator, I heard Claire's voice from inside. Isabella, are you sure you want to keep using that thing? Your husband's body is about to give out. The last scan showed his vitality index has already dropped below the baseline. He'll have to endure it. Isabella's voice was cold, harder than I'd ever heard it. Without his life force to power it, what happens to our plan? Even if he dies? Her voice faded as the doors closed. I didn't hear the rest, but that one line was like an ice pick to my heart. No wonder I was exhausted every single day. No wonder no amount of supplements helped. I wasn't living with my wife. I was serving as a human battery pack for this woman. System. System. I screamed in my mind. No reply. Damn it, you useless piece of code. Ding. Host. It is improper to curse at your system. Thank God. System, I was about to tell it what I discovered, but it cut me off. System power is critically low. Entering hibernation mode. Take care, host. Useless. It always failed me at the worst possible moment. Gritting my teeth, I decided I had to figure out what they were up to. I found the emergency stairwell and started climbing, listening carefully on each floor. Finally, on the 12th floor, I heard Claire's voice coming from behind a door. This new machine is an improvement. Even if he won't collapse immediately like before, it can sustain him for longer. Just as I leaned in to listen closer, the doorknob turned. My heart stopped. I scrambled back into the stairwell. The door opened, and Isabella poked her head out. Strange, I could have sworn I heard something out here. What is it? Claire's voice came from the bathroom. Nothing. It's been so long since we showered together. Tajda, I came prepared. I brought all our toys. But can your body handle it? What? Were they actually lesbians? I hid in the shadows of the stairwell, my ears ringing. What did that make me for the past 3 years? A free battery pack and a convenient cover story? So they were using my life force to power some machine while carrying on a secret affair? This plot was more screwed up than any bootleg novel. As I stood there, stunned, I heard the sound of the shower turning on, mixed with their light laughter. I clenched my fists, a mix of anger and fear churning in my gut. Angry at myself for being played like a fool. Afraid that if they found me, they'd do worse than just use me as a battery. They'd silence me for good. Just then, a cry for help reached my ears. Help! Help me! I listened closely. It was coming from the room next to theirs. I tiptoed over to room 1208, and the voice grew louder. Let me out. I know what you're doing. The voice sounded familiar. I racked my brain, and then a cold dread washed over me. It was Mr. Peterson, the executive I'd met at a business dinner. He told me just last week that Isabella was meeting with him to discuss a partnership. He went to the meeting and then vanished. His family even filed a missing persons report. So I wasn't the only battery pack. I was about to knock when I heard footsteps behind me. I ducked back into the stairwell just in time. Through the crack in the door, I saw Isabella emerge from her room, wrapped in a bathrobe. She was holding a black device with several wires attached, like some kind of medical monitor. She walked to room 1208 and entered a code. The door beeped open. Isabella, do you know what you're doing? Let me go, or else. Isabella didn't say a word. I heard the device beep twice, followed by Mr. Peterson's pained grunt. A moment later, Isabella came out. The screen on her device was glowing much brighter. My scalp prickled with horror. She'd kidnapped Mr. Peterson to drain his life force, too. If she found me eavesdropping, my fate would be far worse than his. I was about to slip away when I heard Claire's voice from inside their room. Isabella, should we add something extra for your husband? I always feel like we're just a little short. Isabella's voice turned icy. Do it. When we get the chance, crank up the power. This time, it's all or nothing. Either he dies, or I succeed. I didn't dare listen anymore. I snuck away and drove home. The moment I got back, I went straight for the safe. This mission was a death trap. To hell with the sweet romance novel. I was grabbing some cash and getting out of town. The next second, the front door of the villa opened. I jumped, instinctively grabbing a leather belt from the chair to defend myself. Honey, Isabella's sultry voice cooed. Wife. A soft, delicate hand touched my back, sliding down my shirt until her fingers hooked into the waistband of my pants. On any other day, I might have indulged her. But now, knowing her true intentions, any desire I had was long gone. Damn it. I tightened my grip on the belt, clenched my jaw, and spun around. Hiss. Isabella, why did you bring 2 female bodyguards? I quickly loosened the belt I'd accidentally tightened around her neck. I was planning on trying something new and exciting tonight, but now you've gone, and Isabella wrapped one arm around my waist, her other hand exploring freely. Doesn't having an audience make it even more exciting? She gave a wicked smile and pushed me onto the bed. Tonight, only one of us is walking out of this room alive. She straddled me, slowly shedding her clothes. Her body glowed under the recessed lighting. Fidno, a man can be killed, but not humiliated. I surged up, flipping her onto her back. You asked for this. The battle began. The next time I regained consciousness, it was 2 days later. The system woke me up. Host run. She's not the main character. I burst into tears. My ancestors must have been watching over me. I was the last male in my family line for 3 generations. It couldn't end with me. Though after that ordeal, I probably wouldn't be having kids for at least a year. My body was just too depleted. I gestured toward the 2 female bodyguards standing at my bedroom door. Are you sure I can get out of here? I am a system. You must trust in my meticulous planning. What about Isabella? She's just a villainous side character. As long as you proceed with the true main character storyline, she will naturally be written out. You're sure? Host, you are questioning my meticulousness. His confident answer was a relief. As soon as this mission was over, I was going to build a massive shrine for my ancestors. I was going to see mountains and oceans and travel the world. I was going to live my life to the fullest. System, are you sure the main character is going to be in a place like this? I asked, skeptically eyeing the address it had given me. Correct. I drove for 12 hours straight into the middle of a barren desert. A sign read, "Hunting a protected species is strictly prohibited. Violators will be prosecuted." Seeing it, I breathed a sigh of relief. At least this place had laws. To my surprise, there was a motel out here. I checked in, planning to rest for the night. The next morning, I woke up to find Isabella standing over my bed. What the hell? System. Where's your meticulous planning now? System power insufficient. Entering hibernation mode. You piece of... I screamed internally. Isabella's expression was shattered, her voice desolate. After everything I do for you, am I still not enough? She asked. Just tell me who she is. At least let me lose with some dignity. I swallowed hard. You know me. I'm not really a woman person. As soon as the words left my mouth, the temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. The bodyguard standing behind her almost burst out laughing. Get out. Isabella's voice was like shards of ice. The guards flinched and scurried out of the room. Once we were alone, she looked at me with such sorrow, you'd think I was really the one who had broken her heart. Liar. Is it because you've had me so many times that you're bored? Is that why you're making up such a ridiculous excuse? No. I haven't had anything. I've just been giving. I pointed out, correcting her flawed logic. Giving. Isabella rolled her eyes, and with a single pull, unbuckled her belt. A garden of earthly delights blossomed before me. I gulped. I had to admit, she was an absolute bombshell. She walked over and pushed my head down towards her. Now, are you getting or giving? As she approached, all four of my limbs, plus one, were trembling. I broke free from her grasp, grabbed the comforter, and wrapped it around myself. I want a divorce. I declared, my voice firm. What did you say? Isabella's face darkened. She seemed genuinely angry. The bodyguard at the door heard the commotion and filed back in. I huddled in the corner of the bed, clutching the blanket. This was pathetic. I was supposed to be the man here. How did my life get so miserable? I said I want a divorce. A divorce? Isabella let out a cold laugh. Fine. I didn't feel a shred of happiness, because she was stalking toward me with a chilling look on her face. We've been married for 3 years. You've used me, played me, explored every inch of me, inside and out, upside and down. Today, you're going to pay it all back. Then, and only then, will I agree to a divorce. This woman was a complete psychopath. In a moment of pure terror, my body betrayed me, and a small puff of air escaped from my rear. Never mind. I don't want a divorce. No divorce. Oof. Then lie back down. I lay on the bed, surrendering to my fate. How did you find this place? I asked, as she did whatever she wanted. When you're running for your life, you don't exactly pay attention to the map, do you? I would never rat out the system. As useless as it was my only lifeline. Is that so? We were engaged in the most intimate of acts. Yet our conversation was as dull as a weather report. Why are you so addicted? I asked the question that had been bugging me for years. Isn't this how all young people are? She murmured, leaning down and silencing me with her chest. BZZ, BZZZ. Suddenly, one of the bodyguard's suitcases started vibrating. The moment she heard it, Isabella froze. She shot up, not even bothering to put on her shoes as she ran toward it. Quick, to the lab. She threw on a jacket, and, before leaving, she had the nerve to comfort me. Intermission. We'll continue when I get back. After she left, the system came back online. Host, run. I felt like my chest was about to explode with rage. You said the main character was here. How did Isabella find me? That shouldn't be possible, the system said, sounding completely baffled. I am the system. I am very meticulous. I just lay there, speechless. Just let me find out where you plug your server in. You son of a bitch. I quit. I'm not doing this mission anymore. Send me back. I'm sorry. That function is unavailable. Then give me a new identity. I'll start over. I'm sorry. That function is unavailable. Then what can you do? I don't think I could do anything anymore. Some asshole reported me, and now I've lost all my administrative privileges. Damn it. After half an hour of silence, the system suddenly shouted, Host, you can go find the main character yourself. As long as you find her, you can reset the plot, and everything will go back to normal. To be honest, I didn't believe a single word this moron system said anymore. But I had no other choice. Following its advice, I went to the location where the script said I was supposed to meet the real main character. I was 3 years late. I wondered if there was any hope. Was the real female lead already in a sweet, loving relationship with some other guy? As I was sighing, a sweet fragrance wafted from behind me. "Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to the Snow Rabbit Cafe?" The voice was soft and gentle. My body tensed, and, as if I'd rehearsed it a million times, I pointed. "It's at the next intersection. Take a left, and then—" "Oh, that sounds complicated. Would you mind walking me there?" Tears welled in my eyes. The system was screaming in my head. "The main character? The main character? Host, that's the real one." I turned my head. "Of course." My voice trailed off. I froze. The woman standing before me was Claire, Isabella's supposed lesbian lover. Is this right? A sweet romance novel? Author, get over here right now. What's wrong? Is there something on my face? Claire blushed, flustered by my intense stare. "No, nothing. I can take you there." Dejected, I followed the script step by step. I fully expected it to be another one of Isabella's traps, but she never showed up. To my shock, it seemed like the plot was actually correcting itself. The system was still spamming my brain. Host. It's her. She's the real main character, Claire. I must have made a mistake before because my permissions were limited, but I'm sure of it now. I snuck a glance at Claire beside me. She was still wearing that cream-colored dress. The wind gently tossed her hair, and her eyes were clear, a faint smile playing on her lips. She looked so gentle and harmless, a complete stranger to the cold woman I'd seen with Isabella at the hotel. What was going on? If she was the real main character, why was she helping Isabella kidnap Mr. Peterson and drain my life force? "Why are you so quiet?" Claire suddenly asked, her eyes full of curiosity. I forced a smile. "No reason, just a little tired." For the next few days, I followed the script, spending all my time with Claire. And Isabella didn't try to force-feed me her chest anymore. After 3 years of marriage, I finally got a vacation. A full 2 weeks. For 2 whole weeks, we didn't do it once. It was the happiest fortnight of my entire mission. Whatever she and Isabella were planning, right now, she was my savior. Finally, the day the script said Claire and I were supposed to kiss arrived. The plot reached its climax. Over the past 2 weeks, our relationship had grown into that tantalizing stage. More than friends, but not quite lovers. The system was in my head every day, chanting, "Just one more step. Go for it, host." But I couldn't shake the feeling that this fragile connection was like glass, ready to shatter at the slightest touch. "Look at that sand dune over there. Doesn't it look like cotton candy?" Claire pointed to the distance, where the setting sun painted the hills in gold. She turned to look at me, the sunset reflected in her eyes, her eyelashes dusted with tiny flecks of gold. My throat felt dry. On impulse, I whispered, "Not as pretty as you." The moment the words were out, I regretted them. Too direct. Claire's face turned bright red, like a ripe peach. She looked down, twisting the hem of her dress. "Why? Why would you say that all of a sudden?" she stammered. The air between us crackled with unspoken tension. I looked at the tips of her reddening ears, and only one thought filled my mind. This was the key moment the system had been talking about. I leaned in slowly. She didn't pull away, but her breathing grew ragged. When our faces were just inches apart, she suddenly looked up, her eyes shining. "Ethan, She didn't finish. My lips met the corner of her mouth. It was soft like cotton candy, with a faint scent of coffee. Her body stiffened for a moment, then relaxed. She closed her eyes, her hand unconsciously gripping the hem of my shirt. Just then, a warm jolt of electricity shot from where our lips touched, spreading through my entire body. I went numb, my mind buzzing. It wasn't the dizzying spark of romance. It was a literal electric shock. The system's alarm blared in my head. Warning, warning, abnormal energy fluctuation detected. I pushed Claire away in a panic. She looked just as startled, her face pale. What? What was that? I think I just got shocked. System? System? What's going on? What's happening? For the first time, I felt true panic. In that 1 second, I couldn't feel the system's presence at all. Just then, Isabella's voice came from behind me. Stop calling for it. Your system is dead. It was unmistakably her voice, but not the sultry tone I was used to. This was the sound of pure, unburdened relief. Claire turned to Isabella and smiled. You worked hard. I looked back and forth between them, completely lost. I know you have a lot of questions, Isabella said, holding out a small blue pill. Take this, and you'll understand everything. And if I don't, no one's forcing you. Only if you don't want to know the truth. I stared at the pill. Claire stood beside her, watching me calmly, her expression certain. The panic from the system's disappearance was still fresh, but looking at them, I felt a strange sense of familiarity, like the unspoken understanding between actors after a scene is done. After a moment's hesitation, I took the pill and swallowed it. It dissolved instantly, leaving only a cool sensation. The next second, a flood of memories crashed into my mind. When I came to, my vision was crystal clear. I wasn't a randomly selected host bound by a system. I was the author of the very system I'd been cursing this whole time. My own creation. Every time a transmigrator arrived, this world would reboot. My childhood friend, Isabella, cast as the villain, would suffer a tragic fate. My body would become a vessel for the transmigrator, who would then proceed to romance the female lead, get entangled in love and hate, and then, after succeeding, abandon everyone, leaving a trail of wreckage behind. But we weren't machines. We were people with our own feelings, our own lives. So we started to fight back. We failed again and again. Finally, Isabella managed to trap the possessed version of me in a special container. There we discovered the existence of the system. Together, we developed a fake system. Through it, we backtraced the signal and found the system's headquarters. We saw thousands of them. We saw countless scripts and countless little worlds just like ours, filled with people enduring the same endless suffering. I wanted to destroy it all, but I was as helpless as an ant. I returned and told them everything. After meticulous research, we devised a plan. The next time a transmigrator arrived, we would use our fake system to hack into their real one, imprison their soul, and allow my own soul to regain control of my body. To avoid detection, we would disrupt the plot, having the main villain pose as the female lead. I also secretly implanted a shielding device inside Isabella. Whenever we were intimate, I was actually uploading a constant stream of viruses into the real system. We ran countless simulations, planning for every possible contingency. Until one day, I felt a strange power emerge within my body. The transmigrator had arrived again. So Mr. Peterson was, you can think of him as a system inspector, a program designed to ensure the plot progresses normally and prevent rogue systems from neglecting their duties. And the system? Completely destroyed. So what about us? Isabella gave me a sultry smile. Tomorrow, we're going to your place. I'm moving in. She paused, her hand drifting down to her stomach. We need to start planning for the baby. And